Hi, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Danny, otherwise known as the Glittered Rose, here on YouTube, also over on Instagram. I'm so excited to share this art journal page that I've made using a mix of different techniques and supplies. So we've got some rusty texture from Stamperia, some ephemera. The main image is from Maremi Small Art's new collage book called Little Personas. And I just love this book so much. So I thought today in this video we'll go through the book, we'll take an in-depth look of it and you can hear my thoughts on the book, and then we'll pop this page together. There's lots of lovely texture and crackles and oh, I hope you like it as much as I do. So if this is of any interest, please stick around, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below to let me know what you think, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I do appreciate each and every one of you. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so to start with, I thought we might have a look at this brand new book, and it's called Industrial Little Personas. So it's very steampunkish, but they're all gorgeous little children dressed up in steampunk theme. Um, when I saw Maremi had put this book out, I knew I had to grab it. So I did straight away. So here we've got her other books. I have two of them. I've got Fairies Volume 1 and Fairies in Bloom and Backgrounds. And I will link up the top a link for my other video about them and my thoughts on those ones. So let's take a quick look at the book. I'm quite pleased to see that they're all on a creamy background with some sort of collage elements in the back. So if you wanted to fussy cut, you could, but if you don't, it doesn't matter. So I'm not the hugest fan of fussy cutting, so I really do love that it's not necessary with these images. They've got some lovely elements around them as well that you could utilize. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? Look at this little girl. She's so cute. Okay, so there's a variety of sizes. I will say for what I make, I find these larger ones a little too large. But I know people who work on big canvases, you know, will love the bigger images. So I've got a larger Stamperia art journal there, and it looks like it might just fit. I will say the eyes on that one's a little off, probably just down to AI, but if I have a look at the others, they all look good, so aren't they cute? Oh, look at the rocket ship on this one. Isn't that sweet? Oh, look, that helmet on that boy. It's so cool. I love the colours in this book as well. Oh, look at the drippiness on him. That'll be fun. Oh, isn't she gorgeous? She's very large. Wonder if she'll fit in my Stamperia. Oh, yep, she will fit. I'd probably have it on a double spread rather than just on the single page, but she looks like she'll work. They're nice. They're in different sort of art styles as well. I like her with the circle behind her. Aren't the colours fantastic in this book? He's cool with his wings. I think when it comes time to choosing which image to use, I'm going to have so much trouble. So there's some like backgrounds that you can use. It's cool. You can kind of You'd be able to cut out sections so you wouldn't have to use the whole, you could use bits and pieces of these background images. Ah, bonus page. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. So I'll be sure to link Maremi's or Marta's channel. It's called Maremi Small Art. I'm really glad I got this book. So be sure to check out her YouTube. She's got a lovely hacked YouTube channel. I'm sure you know who she is anyway. Okay, so I want to create something in this larger mixed media journal I've been creating in my small one. I'll show you the spread that I did. This is using Maremi's, one of Maremi's other books. So I'm going to make something a little bigger this time. Well, that was difficult. It took me a little while, but I've decided upon this little girl. I love her top hat, and I think the colours I could really play with. So I'm going to go with her. I'm just going to use a ruler to tear her out. I'm not sure what to do about that bottom left-hand corner yet. So I'm just going to carefully tear her out. I'm just deciding if I want to keep all of the shoulder in or if I want to cut off some of that shoulder just to miss that corner, because I don't really want to take that other image as well. Nope, I'll just tear it out and we'll work it out. Okay. I'm going to jaggy up the edges because I've got some very straight lines and I just want to even it up. I'm just going to tear it. And I'll do the same up the top. Okay, so now I want to pop some Distress Crackle paste. This is the translucent one. All around it, I'm going to pop on a thin layer. I'm not patient. I don't want to finish this tomorrow after it's dried. So it's still quite cool here in Australia. So I know if I pop a thick layer, it's just going to take too long to dry. So I'm just popping on a thin layer. Plus, I'm not sure how well this thin paper will take to a thick layer. So probably just start with a thin layer and see how it goes. So I'm just spreading that on and not worrying too much about it being completely even. By the time it dries clear, I don't think it will matter much. So I'll just spread this on and pop it aside to dry and clean up my spatula. So to begin with, in my large Stamperia art journal, I'm just tearing up pieces of scrapbook paper and layering them on. I'm keeping in mind that I won't be able to see too much of this layer, but it's nice that they're there because you can still catch glimpses of them and they add to the effect and the layers and the texture in the end. So I'm just sticking it down with my matte medium and then going over the top to seal the papers. This just protects it and keeps it from buckling and curling. Now I'm just going to pop in some paper from a vintage book, and this has been nicely aged, so it just adds that little bit of extra dimension and texture in the end. It's a great colour, this one. I do realise how ugly this is looking, but it is something that gets covered up. So it's not something to freak out about yet. Okay, so I don't mind a little bit of stereotypical steampunk. So I've just grabbed out some ephemera from All and Create and going to glue down these clocks. Straight out of the packet, these are great colours, so I don't feel the need to ink them. I think they're really great. Okay, so I'm going to pop some washi tape down. I struggle constantly trying to get washi tape off intact and neatly. Am I the only person that struggles with this? Oh, this one's pretty. This one's a Tim Holtz one. It's got some floral elements to it. That's nice. This one's from All and Create, and it's got some words. I like the boldness of this one. Not sure where to put it. That'll be good. Pop a little bit more black on, I think. And I've torn it. Of course I have. There we go. That fixes it up. Okay, so I realize how ugly this is looking, but you push through it and hopefully it'll come together. So I realize at the moment it's looking a bit mishy-mashy and not very cohesive. So this is my trick. I grab some gesso and I'm just going to go over it in patches. And this brightens things up, but it also makes things cohesive and brings it all together. I'm not sure exactly how to put it into words, but it really does make such a huge difference. Just do it in patches. It doesn't need to be even, and I like to leave some things untouched, so some things more obvious in the background and push things further away. And by the time it's all finished, it really does make a difference. Okay, so I've grabbed out a stencil, and this is from Lavinia Stamps, and I'm just going to pop it probably in 3 corners, just in random areas. I'm using Finnabare's modeling paste. I really love this stuff. It allows you to heat dry it without bubbling and popping. So, if you're not the most patient person like me, you can whack it on a low setting on your heat gun and it should be okay. I wouldn't blast it and I wouldn't have it too close. You just sort of keep the heat moving and it dries really quickly. All right, so it dawned on me I have got a brand new product to try, and this is called Rusty Texture. It's by Stamperia. I saw it in the shop and I thought, oh, this looks interesting. And when I saw this girl, I thought, oh, I could try this together. So it's quite interesting. It comes in a packet of 4. There's anthracite, mahogany, brick red, and goldenrod paint. And then it comes with a pearl sand. The instruction says to do a base coat of anthracite and then layer the colours and then pop some 3D powder with the anthracite again and apply it in certain sections. and then finishing with some more colour. So that's what I'm going to do. Give it a try. I've never used it. I haven't seen it used either. So I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully we can nut it out together. All right, so I've popped the anthracite on first. Then I've popped some rusty brick and oh sorry, some brick red and mahogany down. And now I'm going in with the golden rod. Now I'm going to mix some of the pearl sand in with the anthracite. Oh, the texture's gritty. It's sort of an interesting texture. I think this needs to be drier, so I'll do some more. But it's very fine. It's quite cool. I'm just mixing it now with my palette knife. And going over the top. I'm thinking at the moment that this page might go in the bin. I'm just going to trust the process and see if I can pull a rabbit out of the hat and make it look okay. But at the moment, I don't have much hope. I'm just going to trust the process. That colour over the top really does make a difference. That's sort of the paint is sort of sticking where the 3D texture is. I do wonder how it would look without my texture paste being stenciled on first. But I think it's coming together. Miracles do happen. This is such a clever kit. It really does. At least in person, it really does look rusty. It's very cool. I've also got a patina set, so it's similar, but it's got the greeny and turquoisey colours for like a green patina. I think that'll be interesting. That'd be really interesting to do it on top of like metal findings. Oh, I like it. It's rusty. Okay, maybe it's not going to go in the bin now. Okay, so now I've grabbed out my vintage photo distress crayon and I'm just going around the edges just to frame it. And I'm just smooching that in with a wet finger. It's been a long day. I'm not smooching my art journal page, I'm smooshing it. The Crackle paste on my little girl is nearly dry, so I feel confident to stick her down. I'm just using a bit of gel paste, and I'm gonna stick her down. I'm not gonna go over the top too much because I don't want to fill those cracks in because I want to age those cracks. Okay, I want to smooth out those edges from where the focal image sticks down to the rest of the page. So I've grabbed out some grit paste. This is Distress Grit Paste. It's in the colour Crypt, which I think might be a Halloween special. So I'm just smoothing some of that grit paste around the edges. And it will give it a little bit of a border, but also sort of bring in the grittiness from the rusty areas. and I think it'll look really cohesive. I could do this all day. It's so therapeutic. It's really nice. You just sort of dabble the palette knife so it's a bit rough, and the grip place sort of grips on, and yeah, it'll dry like that. I think it's nice. Okay, so off camera, I've been testing different embellishments. I don't think I'll go with what's there, but I think I'm going to use some gesso to try and just mellow out that rust, just to send it back a little bit because it's so in your face. And I think just some gesso will sort of hide it and push it back further. Just the same trick that I did before with the collage elements to send them into the background. And I can already see it's working. Yep, I like that. It's not so much now. And it looks like the rust is sort of dripping from behind the picture. I like it. Aren't fingers the best tools? Who needs a paintbrush, right, when you've got your fingies? I think this is exactly what it needed. Okay, so off camera, I've die cut out of watercolor paper some leaves. This is just a Spellbinders die that I had, and I've sprayed it with Mowed Lawn spray stain and Rusty Hinge oxide. Now I've got my vintage photo crayon, and I'm just adding some brown elements to it, and then uh, going over it with water. And this just gives it that sort of motley sprayed look, which I think will work really well. They're looking pretty good. I'm just going to give them a blast with the heat gun. I've glued down some black string using some hot glue, along with those leaf sprigs and a rusty key. And now I'm going to glue down a rusty heart. I think this was a Tim Holtz one. It's actually really rusty, not fake rusty like the key. And I think that looks so cool. She's coming together. I really do love this page. Might be my favorite ever. I think that's a really nice addition. And it sort of it hides that corner that I wasn't crazy about. I don't think you'd know that it's been torn. Okay, so I've grabbed a sticker out of a Tim Holtz book, and the saying says, "Creativity takes courage." And I think that this might be true for this page because I was so close to gluing it up, deleting this footage, and never thinking about it again. But I'm so glad I pushed through because I really think it's coming together nicely. So I've just glued this down, and now I'm going to go around with a graphite pencil and highlight that saying and smudge it out just to blend it in. The whiteness just adds a bit of freshness and sort of draws your eye to it too. It doesn't get lost. Oh, I wish the camera would pick up the crackles in this focal image. The crackle paste has really crackled. It looks fantastic. So I want to highlight the vintageness of these crackles. So I'm going to age them with a little bit of my vintage photo crayon by just rubbing a little bit of the crayon onto a damp finger that sort of just smudges into those cracks. And yeah, it looks fantastic. It's just picking it up in those cracks and antiquing it. I'm not putting too much on her face, just a little bit because we don't want to cover up that gorgeous face of hers. Oh, this is yummy. I'm so happy with it. I love it. I think it's just gorgeous. I hope that you can see those cracks. What a fun technique and medium to have, especially for people who love vintage like me. And here we are, all finished. I have to say, I couldn't be happier. She was a challenge, but I think I worked around it. I just love the texture. I love the rusty paint. I'm really happy that I got little personas. I do recommend it. Lots of fun to create with. Be sure to check out the link in my bio for Maremi's YouTube channel, but also where you can get it on Amazon. All right, guys, let me know down below what you think. Um, if I saved her, and let me know what you think and hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, guys. Bye now.